If you're here watching this, chances are you've clicked on this through my LinkedIn or my Instagram or any of my other social channels, and you're interested to know a little bit more about me, my founder story, all the struggles I've overcome in my early teen years that led me into the position I'm in today, founding my own company, Better Body Blueprint, helping hundreds of people lose weight, get in shape, and reclaim their health despite having a super busy work schedule. This is a full hour, 20-minute podcast episode. No BS, a lot of value, a lot of motivation, inspiration, and clear-cut fitness advice that will transform your health and fitness. I hope you enjoy the episode, and I'll see you there.
This is the perfect time for you to come in because I'm going to LA on Thursday, man. And I'm already I'm eating way less right now just to somehow be able to lose maybe a pound or two. But I know that it's just smoke and mirrors when I do lose a few pounds because it's just water weight. It's not actually fat.
No, it's not. Yeah. So like, you say you're eating less now, you're probably cutting a little bit of your carbs, and like, that's just that water weight that's coming off. And like going on vacation, like I tell my clients all the time, like you don't, like what you do with your diet now, you don't need to change a whole lot of it. Like obviously I have my clients track their food and they get their protein in, and I'm like, I don't want you to track everything on vacation. Like clients come to me, they want a lifestyle change. I work with lifestyle clients. I don't work with bodybuilding competitors because that's like a whole different ball game. So someone comes to me, they're going on vacation. I'm like, okay, kind of what food you eat while you're at home, just eating your regular day in, day out foods, hitting your calories and macros. But you're going on vacation, you're going to eat out, you're going to have foods that are higher in fats and carbs when you eat out, and they're not going to be super high in protein. So it's like front load your protein during the day, like in the morning, get a high protein breakfast in, keep like high protein snacks on you, and really just focus on your protein intake. And, you can pull back on carbs and fats slightly during the day, but then honestly, just go enjoy yourself. Like going on vacation isn't going to ruin all your progress.
Right. So what you mean by front loading is get all the protein in the morning so that you can sustain throughout the day and not feel as hungry.
Yeah. And like protein is satiating. Protein keeps you full. So, you have, a breakfast with 40 to 50 grams of protein, chances are that's going to keep you full for 3 to 4 hours at least, as opposed to having some random ass hotel breakfast that's loaded with like cereal and processed sugars and stuff like that. That's going to last like 2 hours. And you're going to be looking for more.
Right. Dude, I'm not going to lie. I don't remember the last time I had breakfast. I just don't eat anything in the morning anymore. I can't. I don't want to.
Yeah. And like, that's another thing. People say like, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I think that's kind of bullshit. Like, yes, breakfast is important. I don't say it's the most important meal of the day. If you're a bodybuilder and, you're trying to build as much muscle as possible, or you're cutting and you're trying to maintain as much as possible, obviously you want to get protein in right when you wake up. For the average lifestyle person, like if you just don't like eating breakfast and you go to the gym in the morning and like your schedule just doesn't make sense to have like a big breakfast, just have something small while you're on the go and get your workout done in the morning.
Right.
But like don't intentionally skip breakfast just because you think it's going to like help you lose more weight or lose body fat or anything like that.
Really? That's not how it works.
No, not at all.
Shit.
At the end of the day, it's like, let's say you need 2,500 calories to maintain how much you currently weigh and how you currently look. It just comes down to eating less calories than that every day.
Right.
Doesn't matter how you split them up.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I was talking to Alex Karanovich. He was on the podcast before, and I asked him, I'm like, okay, well, what's the deal? Like, if you eat let's say 3 Big Macs or 1,000 calories, and that's all you eat every day, that's all you eat for the whole day, every day.
Yeah.
And let's say you are working out and losing you still will lose weight because it's literally just it's a intake of calories and how much you burn. That's all it is, right?
But then with that, comes, yes, you can, this comes down to like flexible dieting and, like you can fit whatever into your calories and, lose weight. But it's like there comes a point where if you're just doing that and you're not getting in enough protein and you're just kind of fitting whatever into your calories, as long as you're in a deficit, yeah, you're going to see the weight on the scale go down, but eventually you're going to stop losing body fat and you're not going to be building muscle efficiently. So like when you lose that weight and you lose a bit of body fat, you're not going to look the way you want. So there needs to be an aspect of, you have to have guidelines to follow, get your protein in roughly 1 gram per pound of body weight. and you want to get your carbs in, pre and post workout. Like, it's important. Carbs are your body's main fuel source. Think of it like putting gas in your car is what I always say to people when I try to explain carbs, because that's like another thing. People avoid carbs all the time. They think carbs are the enemy, which is like complete bullshit.
Right. For someone, this is something that I struggle with. I can lose weight to a certain point where I look decent. I lose, most of my belly fat, but that whole next step, like you said earlier, that whole next step to like take it to the next level of just getting chiseled and losing that extra bit of fat, that's the hardest. And I just feel like for me, I need to basically fucking starve myself to a freaking pulp to be able to get rid of that fat, or do like a fucking MMA weight cut.
No, it's not even like that. Like, I've had clients that have lost 20 to 30 pounds and like, they lose a bunch of body fat and like they're lean. And, it just comes down to, you want to make sure that you're not eating too little calories. Like, you still need to fuel your body. And, if you're tracking your calories, let's say let's use 2,500 as an example, because that's an easy number. Take away 300 calories from that every day. So 3,500 calories is a pound of fat. So take away 300 calories every day. And I always tell my clients, weigh in every day. Some people have like a relationship issue with the scale, but it's like the day-to-day fluctuations don't matter much. You want to look at your average weight. So like, you want to add up all the weigh-ins and kind of see the average weight for the week, and then compare that week to week and see how much weight you're losing. And then you can take away food to take away that 300 calories, or you can do some cardio, or you can have a daily step count. Like, people overcomplicate the whole process. I just talked about this on my Instagram story the other day. It's like, yes, you can pull away some carbs and fats. You want to keep your protein high, and you want to pull away more carbs than fats, because fats are like essential for hormone and like brain function and stuff like that. You don't want to let your fats tip below like 45 to 50 grams a day.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair. What are some good sources of fat and carbs, man? Because I feel like a lot of people don't know the difference between good fats and good.
Yeah, for sure. So like fats, I'd say stuff like eggs, avocado, any type of nut, cashews, almonds, peanuts, anything like that are all good sources of fat. Peanut butter is also a good source of fat, but when you get the natural peanut butter, not that processed shit with like sunflower oil and like all this random
Didn't you post a video about peanut butter where you're like, dude, do not have peanut butter or you will?
I did, and like that was a hook. So I was like, stop eating peanut butter if you're trying to lose weight. It's keeping you fat. And like, that was my hook. But that video is educating the people on the calories in peanut butter for people that don't track. Like, people say they put a tablespoon of peanut butter, but it's really 2, and that's like 180 calories versus 90.
Right.
And you put that
I love peanut butter, man.
Toast.
Personally, when I saw that video, it reconfirmed the fact that I shouldn't be eating peanut butter. It's a killer.
Yeah, and like, you can eat it and lose weight as long as you track it. But that video was specifically for people who don't track and just aren't aware of the calories.
I understand the whole tracking theory, man, but for me, people that do it, great. I'm not judging those people. They're putting the extra effort. But for me, is there a way to lose weight and be able to achieve those things without tracking? Because I just don't have the time, and I just don't have the mental capacity to be able. Like, I almost don't care enough to track, but I also do care about how I look, and I do want to lose weight.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think you don't need to track food forever to lose weight. Like, when clients come into my program, what I teach them is I start them by tracking and teaching them how to track, because then you can fit in foods that you enjoy into your plan. If you want to have alcohol, you can have alcohol and lose weight as long as you track it. People come to me, they're like, I want to have alcohol while I lose weight. I'm like, okay, lit. I'm going to teach you how to do it. 3-4 weeks in, they're like, oh, I realize I'm eating the same foods, day in, day out. I'm getting my protein in. I'm seeing progress in the gym. And then they realize how inflamed alcohol makes them and like how shitty they feel after it. So then they just stop drinking it.
Like, you don't force them to quit it. They just see it based on the inflammation, the lack of the shitty sleep, and how they feel the energy.
Yeah, and the morning after, and the bloating and everything like that. Right. So it's like, for you said you don't care enough to almost track calories, and you don't need to. That's where guidelines come in. Like the peanut butter, it's like, okay, you don't want to track calories and, try to lose weight doing it like that. It's like, okay, then you can just cut out peanut butter, because then you're going to save yourself, like, let's say you have it on 2 pieces of toast, and you didn't see that video and you put two tablespoons on each piece of toast, you're saving yourself like 360 calories by just cutting it out.
Jaden, I think what you're saying too is that you can moderate too, right? There's no reason why somebody should have to completely cut out alcohol, right? Like I should be able to just enjoy a glass of wine, like 1 or 2 on the weekend, and that's it. And that's what I do. I don't during the weekdays. I don't drink any alcohol. On a Saturday, sure, 2 glasses at the most, and that's all I have, and I feel fine after.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it just all comes to moderation and like just not completely throwing everything out the window once you have some alcohol or you have some quote unquote unhealthy food, even though I don't really like labeling food as, healthy and unhealthy, because at the end of the day, a lot of shit that we eat is unhealthy. And like, if you view food that way, it's just going to lead to issues down the road.
There was a trend for a while, and it seems like a lot of people still do this, but where people only make egg white omelets, but there's a lot of good stuff. And I know there's a lot of cholesterol in the yellow egg, but I eat the whole egg. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that, because it feels like, and I've seen a lot of research and a lot of good information about how beneficial the yellow egg yolk is. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is good. And like, I tell people to eat it all the time. Like, that's where that egg yolk is, where the fat is. And like I mentioned earlier, like fats are necessary for, brain function, like mental cognition, hormone health, especially as females. Obviously, their menstrual cycle and everything like that. Like if your hormones are out of whack and, you're not having enough fat in your day, that's going to lead to your hormones being out of whack. And it kind of just all ties in together. And like the whole cholesterol thing, it's like people, I like to say, major in the minors and like worry about the shit that they shouldn't be worrying about. Like I had a family member, he's lost a significant amount of weight without tracking calories. He just, kind of followed guidelines. I told him, I'm like, track your calories. He's like, no, it's fine. So I gave him guidelines to follow. But then he started, really getting into it and worry about like cholesterol and eggs and stuff like this. And he had a lot of body fat. So like people that are, fat and obese tend to have higher cholesterol. Then he's getting stuff like cereal that lowers cholesterol. I think like Cheerios claim to do that, or some of these other ones.
But it's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit. And he's like, I'm not going to eat eggs because eggs have a lot of cholesterol. I'm like, how about you just lose weight and then your cholesterol levels are going to come down? Like instead of just cutting out eggs are good for you. And like I had to kind of switch his mindset around that. And now he eats eggs. And like, obviously he's lost 25, 30 pounds. And like his cholesterol levels are down. He went to see his doctor and he's like, your cholesterol levels are, back to normal.
Right. It's funny you say that, because about the whole thing where if you want to have alcohol in your diet, then you can, and you can still lose weight. Because Kyle Forgard, the Nelk guy, the Nelk boy, he actually went on this like 3-month like transformation journey where he was just like shredding and trying to be healthy as fuck. But it was funny. It was weird because he said that in his routine, his 1 week routine, in his weekly routine, he would have 1 send a week. So he would actually dedicate 1 day to just getting absolutely like hammered. Yeah. And in my head, I'm like, dude, how are you going on this transformation journey by having having a day where you just fucking get fucked up and drink the utmost amount of alcohol? So you can do that. Like it's not encouraged, but you can.
Exactly, you can. And honestly, it all comes down to what you're in it for. Like for him, he did a 3-month shred, and like his thing was, okay, I just, I want to look good. He probably honestly didn't care about how his health was. Like a lot of people come to me, they're like, okay, I want to look good, but like I also want to be healthy. I want to have more energy to play with my kids. You're not going to do that if you're getting shit-faced on a weekend.
It's just not happening.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because he did lose a lot of weight, and he really, really looks shredded and looks good. So I'm just thinking in my head, okay, like, I don't know. Maybe are there exceptions? Are there exceptions with some people where they can grind through a week of just being good, eating healthy, working out hard, and then just letting themselves loose for a day, and then the next day getting back up and like it was nothing? Like, are there exceptions for that, or chemistry and the whole bio behind it just won't allow that to happen?
No, I feel like a lot of that, obviously, alcohol, calories, like it all comes down to calories, what we're talking about right now. Like you're saying, can someone just let go for a day or two on the weekend and get back on track on Monday and, stay on track Monday to Friday? and then just let loose on the weekends and see progress. 95% of the population, no. 5% yes, because there's those people that are just naturally skinny and have naturally really fast metabolisms, and it's like they can consume a shit ton of calories and like they'll just, you know, stay super lean, and like it's hard for them to put on weight.
Fair.
Yeah.
Is there, okay, how about, could this be a way of looking at it? If I know one day I'm going to get fucked up, like I'm going to LA on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I know on the Friday I'm going to be drinking. Is this an effective way of looking at it, going into it thinking, okay, if I'm going to be consuming 7 to 8 drinks of seltzers that are each, let's say, 150 calories.
Yeah.
What does that add up to? I don't know. Let's
say 1,200 calories.
1,200 calories.
Yeah.
Could I plan my day knowing that I'm going to be consuming 1,200 calories? So throughout the day, I'm going to only consume, let's say, 800 calories. And then that would actually be an effective way of losing weight.
Yeah, I'd say like instead of doing that and like just, you know, only consuming 800 calories and saving 1,200 for alcohol, that's like banking calories. And like I get my clients to do that too. But it's like if you're only consuming 800 calories of food, like that alcohol is going to hit you a lot harder and like you're just going to be even more fucked up. So it's like I'd recommend having more food, and then, you know, if you want to save yourself some calories, you can do a little bit of cardio or just get, you know, 10 to 12,000 steps a day. That's going to burn like 300 to 400 calories, and then you can do incline walking on the treadmill for 25 minutes and burn another 300.
Right.
So you don't want to like think of it as in like I have to restrict myself in order to do this. Like, you know, if you're getting shit-faced on the weekend and you want to have 7 to 8 drinks, like chances are you aren't super serious about your weight loss goals. So you shouldn't you shouldn't restrict yourself as if you were. You know,
because it's not really even going to make a difference if it's not like you're doing yourself a favor by.
No, you're not. And you're just going to lead yourself into feeling shittier the next day, and you're just going to like screw up your relationship around food and shit like that if you're just like restricting yourself of calories just to have 1,200 calories alcohol.
Right. It leads into the next day. You're just going to have a shit workout. And then
you're not going to get back on track on Monday like you think you are, because you're going to be hungover in bed.
Oh, God damn it. Man, this relationship with weight loss, for me personally, it really hits home because I was always considered the fat kid in high school. Well, not really the fat kid, but like the chunkier kid for sure. And I fluctuate in weight depending on the season.
Yeah.
The fall, winter, it's do you see an obvious decline in people's performance and, you know, weight loss, and people start gaining weight in the winter because people are just sleepier, lazier, eat like shit?
Yeah.
Because that's me right now in this moment. I just feel like I'm just this thick sack of shit that's not really fucking.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, especially as like for us, like when it gets darker earlier and like, you know, like the time changes and like just the winter months in general, colder, like people just lack motivation, and it's holidays and like Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's so easy just to let loose. And I think that's what a lot of it ties into. Just everything kind of hits the fan at once, you know, dark mornings, and, you know, it gets dark at like 4 or 5 p.m. and like no one wants to do anything. No one wants to go to the gym after work. Then Halloween and candy and all this shit, and Thanksgiving and Christmas. And it's like, might as well just chalk it up and wait till the new year, because new year, new me, right? But that's bullshit.
So what do you say to those people? Like, what would you suggest for them? What's the remedy for all that?
Well, I'd say, okay, look at it as in, okay, yeah, sure, your motivation is low this time of year, but you have to realize that motivation isn't going to get you to your goals. Motivation comes and goes. What's going to get you to your goals is discipline. And, you know, some people can be crazy disciplined. Like, I could stay on track throughout the winter. I've been doing this for 5 years. Like, I don't need motivation to keep going. Like, my motivation is non-existent for a lot of the times. I'm just, like, process-driven, and, like, I know where I want to go, so I'm, like, disciplined to that.
Yeah, it becomes a habit when you do it for long enough, too.
It's habitual for you at this point. It's just what's it called? It's clockwork.
Yeah, for sure. And, like, for the people that, you know, aren't that disciplined, I'd say, okay, maybe don't go as hard as you were going in the summer. One of my clients, I had this conversation with a few days ago, And, you know, I brought her into my program. She just resigned for 4 months, and, you know, so she's doing a year with me. And now it's like the last month and a half's been super busy for her. She's a business owner, owns like a chiropractic clinic, and, you know, obviously manages employees and massage therapists. And she's like, I just can't track my food right now. And then holidays and stuff like that, I just can't get to the gym as much, you know, kids and whatnot. I'm like, okay, so, you know, your discipline isn't there, because if you really want to make it happen, you'll wake up earlier and sacrifice a little bit of sleep to do it. But this is a lifestyle client, so it's like you don't need to do that shit. Like, just enjoy the holidays and be present. So it's like, cut your workouts down to, you know, 3 times a week. Do like an upper body workout, a lower body workout, and a full body workout. So you're still hitting each muscle group twice a week. And just focus on your protein and, you know, be somewhat mindful of your calories. Get your water in, stay hydrated, stay moving around, you know, have like a daily step count goal of 10,000 steps. And like, you'll be good. And she's losing weight throughout the holidays by just doing that. So it's like, just take a step back and like realize that, you know, this is like a hard time of year, and like, I can't go balls to the wall like I was in like the warmer months where it's easier for me to stay on track.
Right. Do you ever ask your clients, why do you want to lose weight? Because I feel like getting into a weight loss journey and a healthy lifestyle journey, it's there's a lot of you got to come in with the right mindset, because if someone says to you, hey, I want to lose weight to get abs, to look good for girls, to get bitches, like, that's, you would say, okay, well no, well it's sustainable to a certain point, but it's going to fizzle out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, do you ask these certain questions? And if someone does say, gives you a superficial reason as to why they want to lose weight, do you tell them, do you ask them to maybe readjust their perspective?
Yeah, well, like, when I'm talking to someone and, you know, they want to come into my program, it's like, I ask them, I'm like, okay, you know, why do you want to do this? And, you know, for a lot of men that I work with, like, I work with men and women, a lot of it is like, you know, I just want to get a 6-pack. Like, I want to look good to get chicks. Like, that's why I started in the gym. In grade 10, I had a relationship, and it was like, it was honestly, didn't even count as a relationship. Lasted like 2.5 weeks. And then, you know, heartbroken, I was like, okay, time to get in the gym to, you know, get more girls and pull more girls. And then it's like, that motivation lasted like 5 months. And then it's like, then I was process driven, and like, I like going in the gym and getting stronger and like seeing the visual changes, because prior to getting in the gym, I did tons and tons of research about calories, macros, how to train properly, how to like actually take care of like my joints. Like, I went all into it. And then, so it's like that, you know, like surface level reason doesn't last very long. So it's like, why do you actually want to do this? You know, for someone that's like overweight, it's like, okay, there had to have been a time in your life where like, you're like, it's time to change. Like, I'm so overweight. Like, you know, it could be something like, I'm sick of seeing what I see in the mirror every day, or like, you know, I was trying to keep up with my kids and I don't have energy, or like, you know, stuff like that in day-to-day life, that you're just like unconfident, or you can't, you know, keep up with your kids, or that's a common one I hear a lot, is I can't keep up with my kids. And like, that's a deep reason.
It's a weird reason. I don't have kids. That's why I wouldn't know it, but that's a really, they really think they can't keep up with their kid. Like, as in what way though? Just the energy and them running around. They just don't want to.
Yeah, everything. Like, kids are, especially when you have, you know, more than one kid, like, you're getting pulled in every different direction. Like, the client I was talking about that signed with me for a year, her reason was she was holding her kids when she, you know, was getting out of the car, and she kind of stumbled and fell, and she didn't fully fall, but her reaction time wasn't there, and like, she could have dropped her kid.
Oh shit.
So it's like, then, you know, she reached out to me and she's like, you know, it's time to lose weight. And, you know, into my program, she came, lost a bunch of weight, and, you know, got strong too. That's another big thing, is, you know, getting strong within the process. And within 6 months of working with me, she actually fell down the stairs in her house, and she's got wood stairs. So like, bruised up and fell down like 7 or 8 stairs. And it didn't affect her that much because she'd lost a bunch of weight. Obviously, she's lighter, so, you know, you have less weight on you. It's not going to hurt as much, I suppose, if you're like, you know, 170 pounds versus like, you know, 145 pounds. And she's also stronger, so like, she recovered from that a lot quicker.
Right.
Now she holds both of her kids walking around like it's nothing. She has the energy and like the strength to keep up with them.
And that's obviously a solid enough reason for her to.
Yeah.
sustain and do it for like a prolonged time.
Exactly. And
it's
she's
a
just
lifestyle
like,
thing,
yeah. And she's, she's setting an example. She's the one, normally it's the man kind of starts by going to the gym more than, women. And like, men are kind of like leaders and, they want people to follow. But it's like with her, she started in the gym first and then she brought her husband on board. So now I coach both of them.
Right. Nice.
Yeah. And like now, he came to me, wanted to lose weight while drinking. Same with her. And now they both just don't drink.
That's awesome. What do you think of this whole like body positivity movement where they're really highlighting people that are overweight and telling them to embrace how they look and all that? I mean, it's obviously not good for your business.
No.
And it's just, it doesn't make sense in the sense that it has tons of health complications, and being overweight and being obese isn't good for you.
No.
It's not good for anything. It's not good. It's bad news all around, mentally, emotionally, right?
Everything.
And it's just, but we're moving towards that place of just being, and here's the thing, like, would you agree with this? Like, not everyone in the world needs washboard abs.
No.
Right? That's not the way. You wouldn't say strive to have that. It's strive to be healthy, and that can mean many different things.
Exactly. And it's like, yeah, strive to be healthy, and you have one body, take care of it. Like, why are we saying that it's okay to be overweight and obese? Like, I don't know if you saw recently, Southwest Airlines is giving a full row to people that are super obese and like 450 pounds, and like
Jesus.
I saw that and I was like, that's honestly the stupidest thing I've seen in a long time. I was like, you're just like making it okay and normalizing people being 450 pounds. Like, that's not normal.
Of course, if that person does have some sort of, autoimmune disease or some sort of like illness that contributes to the fact that they're so overweight, then there is a bit of a caveat with that. But there's no reason, you would say there's no reason for any human being to be that big. Like, there's no illness or disorder in the world that could lead a person to be that much.
That I know of, no. It literally comes down to just eating shit. And like, you see these obese people, like the McDonald's, like energy drinks that have like 200 calories, cans of pop, and it's just half a box of pizza to themselves. Like, that's what it all comes down to. It's just how much they're used to eating. And then as the years go on, it just piles up more and more and more and more. And it's like, the heavier that you are and like, the bigger that you are, the more food your body's going to want to like actually, function and like maintain itself. So it keeps piling on year after year and snowballing.
You had your, struggles with an autoimmune disease.
A lot.
If you want to get into that.
Yeah. So it all started actually Canada Day of 2019, which is July 1st. It was downtown Vancouver and nothing was really wrong there. Stayed there for a couple hours. Then we went to a restaurant in Burnaby and ate food. Everything was fine. Then after that, I went to the bathroom, and like I went to the bathroom twice in the span of being there. And I was like, it wasn't normal looking. And I was like, that's weird. And like, then I started to feel sick. And the day after that, I was heading out of town to Edmonton for a family wedding. Got to the airport in Abbotsford and I was like, okay, wasn't feeling the best. Had a coffee. I was kind of tired. Like, my energy levels were kind of low. Then I was fine on the plane. And then when I got to the house in Edmonton where everyone was staying for the family wedding, I mean, hell just broke loose. Like, cold sweats and, going to the bathroom like anywhere between 8 and 12 times a day. And like,
Jesus.
yeah, I didn't get to enjoy the wedding at all. Like, I went to one wedding event and I was in the bathroom maybe 4 times within an hour and a half, 2 hours of being there, which isn't normal at all. And that was the one event that I went to. And then there was the actual wedding itself. Then there was other events after that, like the parties and everything like that. Didn't get to go to any of those. I was literally laying in the guest house that we were in with cold sweats in bed. Like, I was feeling hot, but I literally, the sheets were soaked. Like I was sweating so much. I couldn't eat solid foods at all. Like I'd literally live off Gatorade to get some electrolytes in, and some salted crackers again to get some electrolytes in, and that's all I could tolerate. Anytime I tried to eat anything else, it'd just come right out. I'd either throw it up or I'd go.
I was gonna say, were you vomiting as well, or was it just the back end?
No, vomiting too. Like
Jesus.
And at least 4 times a day, at least. So it's like Gatorade and crackers was all I can tolerate, and I was in Edmonton for about a week and a bit. And prior to leaving, I was about 185-ish pounds. When I got back from Edmonton, we drove back. So, I was there for maybe 11 days. I came back and I was like down 20 and a bit pounds. Christ. Just because I couldn't eat anything at all.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And you got diagnosed with colitis.
Colitis, yeah.
And what is that?
So it's an autoimmune condition. It's to do with your gut, and it kind of like, it just attacks itself. So, and there's kind of like inflammation within like your digestive tract and like your bowels. And yeah, I couldn't eat any solid foods. I went to multiple doctors before we actually figured out. It took a while to get diagnosed. I was under 18 at this point. So like when I got diagnosed with it, it was at Children's Hospital, because like that's where I could go to like see a specialist. Got diagnosed with it, and they're like, okay, so now that like we know what it is, a laundry list of different medications. First I started off with like oral steroids to kind of bring down inflammation. That didn't work. Then they got me on like an actual special medication that helps with colitis. That worked for a little bit until it didn't. Basically, all throughout from July is when it initially happened. All throughout the rest of 2019, I was in and out of the hospital, like blood transfusions, because I was losing blood as well. Like it wasn't just going to the bathroom and throwing up. Like I was losing blood when I was going to the bathroom.
Jesus.
That's just from like the inflammation.
And I'm assuming at this point you're losing weight just rapidly.
Rapidly, because I literally, there'd be days where I'd have like, I know about calories now, and like honestly probably 600 calories a day, which is how much like an 8-year-old eats. So like, Jesus. I was losing weight really fast, and I was in and out of the hospital, throughout 2019. Then obviously I was still in high school at this point too. All of 2020, I was in and out of the hospital, obviously like trying to figure out what was going on, and like medications worked here and there. There'd be a couple times where I'd get back into the gym, because I'd look in the mirror, honestly, like I looked malnourished. Like I could see my ribs, like, from being, 185 pounds, like ripped with the 6-pack when I was 17 before leaving to Edmonton for the family wedding. And then looking at myself in the mirror 2 months later, like all my muscle and strength is just gone.
And what's the typical result with colitis? Do people recover from it, or is it a lifetime thing where they're in and out of the hospital?
Well,
I don't know too much about it.
Yeah, so I was initially told that, this is something you're going to have for the rest of your life. And, I was in and out of the hospital throughout 2020, and it got so bad, I tried 5 or 6 different medications. They'd work and they wouldn't work. And then they brought surgeons in to talk to me to get, part of my colon removed. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, that'd mean I'd have to have like a bag sticking out of the side of my stomach.
For the rest of your life.
Yeah. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I was like, we got to find something that works. I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I didn't say that to them, but like, that's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, there's got to be something that we find that, works. And
that was the only result that came with. That's all they could figure out. Just removing your colon.
Well, because
that was the only way.
Yeah, part of it, not like the whole thing. And I don't know exactly why. Obviously, like certain parts of my immune system were attacking other parts of it. And, part of my colon was infected is what they said. That's why they wanted to remove it. Jesus. And then obviously stick like a bag in there. And I was like, for like your, when you go to the bathroom, like essentially it'd be in that bag. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, there's way too much in life that I want to do to, like having a bag in my stomach's just going to like hold me back.
Right.
I'm pretty sure I can make it work. Like I'm an ambitious person, but it's like, that's going to hold me back in like a lot of ways. And like, that's something that I'd also like almost find embarrassing and like would make me like insecure. So I was like, no, like there's got to be another way. Then finally found a medication that worked. And this was towards the end of...
when you find a medication that works, is it like a miracle that you found something that works? Or is
Honestly, it was.
Okay.
Like, it was like a drastic change.
Okay.
So this medication worked for a while. We found this medication end of 2020, and it kept me healthy all throughout 2021. And keep in mind, throughout 2021, I didn't know a lot about my health condition. So, medication was working. Then I got back on my stuff. I started going to the gym again. I started tracking my calories. And I made a lot of progress really fast because muscle memory comes back really quick. So I made all that progress back, got strong. I was 18 and I was benching 2 plates. Like, I got back to where I was. And like, honestly, even further. Towards the beginning of 2022, I was in the best shape I've been. I was like 205 pounds, like jacked. Like I had people coming up to me in the gym like, "Oh, like are you natural?" I'd be like, "Yeah." Like, it's, I just put in the work day in day out. Like when I was in school, I'd wake up and go to the gym at 4:30 in the morning to get my workout done before school, and then I'd go to school and then I'd come back to the gym. And I was big in like the fitness space. And this kind of ties into like other parts of my story and, how I got into the position I am today. I've applied for multiple jobs throughout high school, interviews, everything, never got hired. Cactus, Tim Hortons, McDonald's, never got hired. So I took it to myself when I was in high school. That's why I was going to the gym at 4:30 in the morning. I started training people because I really knew my shit. And like, obviously I wasn't a certified personal trainer, but just like friends and stuff here and there, like, I'd train them. They'd pay me, and if I needed to meal prep food for them, like I do that too, and like that was my source of income. And then all of 2021, I was healthy, stuff was going good.
Sorry to interrupt. By healthy,
okay.
Do you mean the amount of times that you would go to the hospital, or the amount of times you would vomit or shit it out? Did that decrease, or was it just completely gone?
Everything was gone.
Okay.
Everything was normal.
And is that's uncommon for that to happen with colitis? For everything to go away just like that?
I wouldn't say uncommon, but it's definitely like a more rare case.
Okay.
That happens. And like people stay on medication for like a while.
Right.
And, but like I'm obviously big into like health and fitness, and like I feel like why I got back and healthy and stuff so quick is because I got back on track with my health so quick. Like I didn't let my health issue kind of dictate what I could do day to day, and if I could build myself back up to where I previously was and beyond. Like a lot of people will go through struggles and adversity like that and hear that they're going to have this for the rest of their life, and they'll kind of just chalk it up and be like, okay, well, I'm stuck with this for the rest of my life. Like I don't want to put in the hard work to get back to where I was. Like people just aren't there.
So what part was it? Your colon that was fighting against itself?
Yeah.
So is it right now still fighting against itself? So it's completely...
Yeah. So I'll touch back into that in a second. So like 2022, beginning I mentioned I was 205, as healthy and as strong as I'd ever been. I looked good. Then March 2022 rolled around. I went to a lacrosse game in Vancouver, Warriors, and everything was good for the first little bit. Then I really had to go to the bathroom when I went there. So I went, and it was the same thing. Like
shit.
Loose, and like it wasn't normal. And I also threw up twice at that game. I went to the bathroom like 3 times while I was there. And then I was like, oh God, like this is where, shit's going to hit the fan again. March. And then months after that, all the way up until June, everything hit the fan. Same thing that happened in 2019 happened again. I literally lost 35 plus pounds. Like I was 205, honestly more than 35 pounds. I was 205. The lowest my weight got to in May was 160s. So what is that? That's like 45 pounds. Yeah. And like, again, looking in the mirror, I look skin and bones, malnourished. Like all the work that I put in for like a year and a bit to get back to where I was, all gone in literally what felt like the blink of an eye. Just day by day, I can just see myself just shrinking.
And so you went through that again.
Yeah.
Was it did you switch medications again, or was it it just came back with a vengeance?
No, so like I was on the same medication and it just stopped working. Like it just came back with a vengeance. It's like, this kid's doing too well. Like I'm going to test him again. And like, that's something I live by now is like, if you're doing well in life, life is going to test you. And like, you know, whether you pass that test or fail that test is up to you. Right. So, you know, that happened to me twice in like the span of, you know, 3.5 years, basically. And I was like, okay, well, this is just another hurdle I got to jump over. And it's like,
did you find another medication to work?
Yeah. So, you know, obviously I was in contact with my doctor. Like I have a specialist for the health condition that I have. And then I was like, you know, this is happening. Like, you know, I'm losing a bit of blood again. And, you know, I don't want to be getting blood transfusions and shit like that again. Like I had to get bags and bags of blood back in 2019 and 2020. Like, and this was throughout COVID too, that I was in the hospital.
So it's a complete nightmare.
Yeah. And that was like peak COVID, like March 2020. I remember it being in the hospital. And like March is where shit hit the fan for COVID.
So they would almost, they probably like put you in at the bottom of the totem pole with just like COVID and all that shit happening and all the chaos. It was like, there were times probably that you were like disregarded. Like, okay, this guy's, he's had this autoimmune disease for a few years. He can deal with it. Okay, we got to deal with these COVID patients or whatever.
Yeah, that happened for the first little bit until like I was coming there so regularly that, you know, everyone knew my face and like they knew what I had was serious. Then they started to take things, you know, a bit more seriously, and like I was almost like high priority because obviously what I had, like I was losing blood. Like I was like pale in the face. Like one of the nurses came up to me. They're like, honestly, I don't know how you're standing right now. Like your hemoglobin levels, which is like your blood in your body, like your blood count is like 50 or something like that, which is like ridiculously low. She's like, if you were any older and like you didn't take care of your health before, like honestly, you'd faint right now standing up. She's like, I don't know how you're standing, but
and
like,
potentially die. Yeah.
She didn't say that, but I mean, honestly, like if your blood count in your body's low, like I'd assume that'd be something like that.
Right.
So obviously, you know, I was like kind of high priority getting in there, and then it was just a nightmare throughout COVID. And like also my immune system was really weak because obviously it wasn't eating, you know, it was kind of attacking itself. So it's like chance of me getting COVID too.
Yeah, fuck. I just added the dots there. Holy shit. Yeah.
So like I was in the hospital. That's like a high risk area for COVID. So it's like the chances of me getting COVID on top of having my health condition, like thank God I didn't, you know, but it's like the chances of that were high. So it's like being in the hospital throughout that was just,
it couldn't have happened at a worse time.
Exactly. So now kind of moving back to 2022 when it all happened again. So from March to June, everything hit the fan. I was back down to like the 160s again, like super skinny, you know, looking malnourished. And then July, so which was summer of 2022, basically when summer starts.
Okay, July 2020. Okay.
Yeah. So then, you know, obviously, you know, in contact with my doctors, and we found a medication that worked. Again, thank God. Then obviously I was like, this is the second time that this has happened. So I need to look more into my health condition and what kind of triggers flare-ups. And like there's certain foods that trigger flare-ups. And, you know, when I was in the hospital, like the nutritionist and like the dietitian comes in and they're like, don't eat this food, don't eat this food. It's hard to digest. It causes inflammation. And, you know, there's a lot of fiber. So it's just going to cause you to go to the bathroom more. So obviously I was big into like fitness and nutrition too. So I kind of, you know, took a mental note of what foods sat well and what foods didn't. That was step one for me. And then I looked more into my health condition. Then it was like, okay, I know stress is a big thing that causes flare-ups. And that's what it is like when I get sick again, it's like, it's called a flare-up. So stress is a big thing that causes flare-ups. And then I looked more into that, and it's like, I realized how much stress can screw up your life, and like how many things stress is tied into, like gut health and everything like that. And, you know, just how much fat you can lose. Like if your stress levels are high and like you're not getting enough sleep, like you're going to lose less fat. And so I started going to the sauna to kind of relax at the end of every night and just kind of de-stress. And with being on the medication, that helped. And then I was looking even more into it and like, you know, what kind of supplements can I take to, you know, help my condition and like kind of heal my gut and, you know, help digest food. And I came across L-glutamine, vegan fermented L-glutamine. I started with 1 scoop a day right in the morning, which is 5 grams.
Right.
And that worked a bit. Then after like a week and a half, I bumped it up to 2 because then I really looked more into it and, you know, how beneficial it is to heal the gut lining and help with digestion. Within a week and a half after bumping it up to 2 scoops every morning, night and day difference. Game changer. Everything felt so much better. So it's like now I'm on a medication, but I also take 2 scoops of L-glutamine every morning before eating or drinking anything else. I take it with water just to kind of almost prime my digestive tract for food. And then I get into like my day of eating. So it's like I'm on a medication, but I'm also managing my stress levels and obviously eating healthy and working out and moving and taking L-glutamine. So it's like I feel like the L-glutamine has been the biggest game changer, and like my lifestyle habits have been the biggest game changer for, you know, how healthy I am today and how after being sick again in 2022, I'm back to where I am and beyond. And then, yeah.
Man, that makes me think. Do you think, you know, after going through your whole journey and like finding L-glutamine and it really making a big difference for you, do you think there's a supplement for everyone? I mean, is there a healthy habit or a certain diet, a certain supplement that is suitable for everyone to enhance anyone's life, especially for mental health, right? Like I I saw a nutritionist a few times, a naturopath, because I was going through a really dark phase with my mental health. And one of the things he told me was that your gut and what you eat and what you digest in your gut is directly connected to your mental health.
Yep.
So do you think there's a lack of information and knowledge being given to people on how much nutrition and healthy habits and having a healthy lifestyle can contribute to being happier and alleviating a lot of the symptoms that one might be having because of a certain disease or an illness? Like, I feel like it's sort of it doesn't hold much ground to tell someone that is going through something that you went through, saying, oh, well, just have healthier habits. Oh, well, just, you know, have a better diet and have less stress. It's like, okay, well, man, like my intestine, my colon is literally fighting against itself. I don't think it's a matter of having a healthy habit or meditating. I think it's literally give me a medication to take to stop that from happening. But would you say that is a big part that's not pushed enough, or it is, but people just kind of
overlook it
and just give it a side eye, like, nah, okay, it's a cool concept, but my shit is more serious than just that.
So I think with this, like, I think it all kind of ties into one, and people don't look at like the lifestyle habits and like the supplements they can take to help, and like, you know, get blood work done to see what they're like deficient in and stuff like that. I feel like people don't do that enough. But like if you have like a serious health condition, like obviously our Western medicine now is really good, but there's also a lot of it that's just kind of like a Band-Aid fix. If that makes sense. Like a lot of the stuff, like when I was sick, like, yes, I needed medication to like, you know, almost heal me instantly. But it's like, I don't want to be on this medication for the rest of my life. So that's why I dove deeper into it and like, okay, what kind of lifestyle habits and what kind of food should I be eating and food should I be avoiding that are going to cause my health condition to get worse?
Right.
So people just don't look at that aspect enough. How can I, you know, manage my stress, and how can I make sure I get enough sleep, and how can I, you know, see what foods sit well with me and what foods don't, and stuff like that. Just lifestyle habits and like moving around and, you know, trying to stay overall healthy will make a night and day difference regardless of what health issue you're going through.
Fair.
Yeah.
But you would say that medication initially was needed for your colon to
For sure.
stop actively eating itself,
Yeah.
right? Like you did need that. It wasn't like, okay, I'm just going to start doing healthy habits. My colon's just going to figure out on its own. It's like, I need something immediately to stop that from happening. And then anything after that, it's all really on me, on how I conduct my life and how I stay healthy. And one thing I want to ask you, so what you're saying now, like, are there certain foods that do make it flare up?
Yeah,
Alcohol or
yeah.
anything?
No, obviously, I've actually never drank alcohol. I've never had a sip of alcohol. I've never,
Really?
I've never vaped or anything like that. I don't
Shit.
smoke cigarettes, and like that's something throughout high school that like I just never, got into. And I'd always be one to go parties. Like I was fairly popular in high school. I had a lot of friends. I'd always bring alcohol to parties. Like I had a fake ID and stuff like that, but I'd never be one to like drink. And then when I got diagnosed with my health condition, I was like, yeah, absolutely not happening.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I envy that, man.
Yeah.
I do envy that a lot. And I think just to kind of maneuver into like a mental health aspect of this whole thing.
Yeah.
I think one thing with alcohol, and I've talked to Alex about this a few times on different episodes, I think alcohol is the single most destructive thing in our society, whether it's you go out and drink socially at a event, a work meeting, a hangout, wherever you go. Like I don't know, since you don't drink, but like I've a lot of my friends, my friend group do have drinks.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy to me that it's just one of those things where you go somewhere, a picnic or before a movie, oh, let's go have a drink first. Let's have a drink at a sporting event. Let's go, whatever it may be, let's always accompany it with a drink.
Yeah.
And I think that's the most toxic and destructive thing in our society. And it's not, it's just such a cultural thing that we live with. And I had an issue with that. And I recently talked to my therapist about it. And he was saying to me, basically what, like the position you're in, he was because I have this like anxiety and this worry about because the whole context of my situation was I was going on a trip to Seattle to a sporting event to watch the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was dreading the fact of drinking all weekend and having a lot of alcohol and how it was going to affect me for the rest of the week when I did get back, mentally especially. Yeah. And for me, it was a bit of this peer pressure knowing that if I was going to be the guy to say, no, I don't want to have a drink, man, or, I'm going to cut it off for now, man. Like, I'm just going to, pace myself a little bit. I am kind of going gangbusters right now and I'm feeling it. I don't want my peers to look at me a certain way. And I know that's a part of me overthinking and none of my friends would care or they'd just be like, okay, well, whatever, just do what you got to do. Yeah. And it's funny, my therapist said to me, well, what if someone told you if you have a drink that you would die? Right? I mean, like what if someone told you that if you were to have a drink, if you're going to have this one beer, your immune system, your organs would disintegrate in front of you. Would you have a drink? And I'd say, of course not. I don't give a fuck. I wouldn't give a shit what my friends think of me. They could say, fuck you, Mo, we're not your friend anymore. And I still wouldn't drink because it's life or death at this point. Yeah. And it's, I don't know if fascinating is the word for it, but it's fascinating to see that you're in that place. Like that is your predicament. Yeah. Where if you have a drink, it's just hell all over again.
Yeah, it's just going to make my health condition even worse. So it's like, that's just another list of the reasons not to do it. Just adds to the list.
I don't know if you can answer this, but is there a little bit of a relief there knowing that you can say that to your peers and your friend groups? Because a lot of people have this like thing where like if you go to a social event or even a bar, there's going to be drinks involved. Yeah. And they're going to be like, hey, Jaden, have a drink. Oh, sorry, man, I can't. Yeah. Right? Like, is there a certain relief where you can fall back on the fact that you physically cannot have a drink or this will happen? Yeah. Like, do you feel like you're, I don't know, not lucky, I don't think.
No, definitely not lucky. But it's like, it's just, I don't even say that like I can't have a drink. And like, if I have a drink that like hell's going to break loose again. I don't know that for a fact. My doctors have told me that drinking obviously isn't going to help. And it's like, I don't even fall back on the reason that I have a health condition when it comes to not drinking. Like, I can go out and be social and, when I'd go to like parties and stuff in high school and like, like, 2018, 2017, when I was in like grade 10, 11, like, I wouldn't drink, and like people would ask and be like, oh, like, I just don't want to drink. And they'd be like, okay. And like, honestly, a lot of people like look up to it. And like, when I was in high school, I was always one to like inspire people, and like, because I was grinding my ass off in high school, 4:30 a.m. wake ups, going to the gym, and like I kind of made going to the gym a trend in my high school, and I got a lot of people started in the gym, taught them what they needed to know, free of charge too. And then I also had, a couple of my friends that I was training and that would pay me, and I'd meal prep for them and stuff like this. But it's like I kind of made it a trend, and they're like, holy shit, like it's inspiring to see, how much you work and you don't drink, and everything like that. And people kind of looked up to it, and maybe a couple of them started drinking less, and a lot of them started going to the gym more. So I really made it a trend in high school, and like inspired a lot of people to actually get started in the gym.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like you have good friends though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so I actually want to touch on that a little bit, because I'm mentioning I was like the popular one in high school, and like inspired a lot of people to get started in the gym, and but it's not easy to stay consistent with that. A lot of the people from high school now, I had hundreds of friends from different schools. I don't talk to any of them anymore. Like my circle is very small because of like, obviously like my health condition and stuff like that. And, I kind of just be less present in day-to-day life. Obviously I was sick. I was in the hospital for like a year and a half. I wouldn't be going out as much. So like I kind of almost drifted away from friends like that. And then after high school is where, it all changed. And, I was still sick a little bit. But then everyone was going in different directions. Like everyone goes in different directions after high school. They go to post-secondary. I didn't. I was still, dealing with health issues and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And a lot of them were still, going out on the weekends and drinking and stuff like this. And like, that's just not my scene. So a lot of them just ended up drifting away. And then really beginning of this year is where it all kind of changed. Like I went on Snapchat and like unadded like people that I don't talk to that much anymore. And like I still have a few friends I say hi to here and there in person, but I just don't connect with them via social media or texting or anything like that. Like my friend circle is literally 5 people now.
Yep.
Yeah. And
that's about right.
2 of them are from high school, and one of them was my friend from high school's girlfriend. Still talk to her because I'd see her at the sauna when I'd go. And one of them is a friend that went to a private school close to my high school. We just became really close friends. And then my girlfriend. And then like that's my circle. Like that's what it is. Right. And like all those people don't hold me back, and like I still talk to them and see them regularly, and like we're all on the same wavelength. Like no one's really, pulling me in different directions and like taking me away from my mission and where I want to go in life.
Bro, you sure you're not like 30 years old?
No, man, I'm 21.
Man, you're ahead of the curve, man, because I'm telling you, that's how it really is. I mean, I'm 28. You just drift away, you lose a lot of people, life goes on, you meet new people. You really figure out what your self-worth is and what you want in a relationship. Yeah. Me and Alex were literally just talking before you came. I mean, it's just one of those things where you value certain things, and if that person doesn't bring it out of you and doesn't give you that, it's not worth your time. And I think having what you have gone through and continue to deal with, and you gotta stay on top of, I think it's catapulted you past all the shit that you go through in your early 20s. You're there already.
Exactly. I just kind of I always obviously I've struggled a lot over the last 4.5, 5 years. I've been into fitness for 5 years now, and obviously completely changed my life around in every aspect, going through struggles and stuff like that, and going through adversity. And I always say, life is going to test you. There's a few sayings that I like to say, yes, if you're doing well, life is going to test you. Whether you pass that test or not is up to you. And another one is adversity is my advantage. I struggled, but I overcame those struggles, and that's my advantage now, because I learned so much through that experience and those struggles. The amount of struggles that I've gone through in the last 4 to 5 years, most people won't go through in 10.
Right. Even 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of people.
Yeah. And some people, like that. Some people just mosey their way through life and don't struggle a lot. And struggle teaches you a lot.
what's the biggest thing it's taught you? Because I can kind of give you what it's taught me. I mean, for me, it's taught me that to step away from expectations and not be so connected to the outcome and not have high expectations of anything.
Yeah.
Just kind of do the best you can, work hard, stay present, control the things you can control, and that's really it, man.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, and knowing that you have gone through all the struggle and all that shit, there's a bit of a confidence in that, knowing that you can get through anything after, right?
Yeah.
And I think you know, a big part. I think one thing, I don't know, one thing that a lot of people don't really do is look back on this struggle and really embrace it. Like, damn, what I went through is really hard for me, at least, during that time when I was in it. Because I've talked about this before. I used to downplay my struggle and the shit and the trauma that I've been through and like, oh, it's not as worse. It's not as bad as that person's or this person or that person living over there. But everyone's trauma is validated. And I think, I don't know, I just went off on a little tangent there, but just validating what you've been through and your trauma, right? Like what you've been through was very traumatic.
Very,
right?
Especially being so young and going through that. I was like, something I say in my head, like, you know, when I was struggling is like, you know, I'd almost like get emotional about it and be like, I'm so young. Like, why am I dealing with this shit? Like, I'm way too young to be dealing with this. Like, I got so much life ahead. It's like, sometimes I just like kind of sit in it and be like, you know, like, why is this happening to me? But then, you know, that's where, you know, if you're doing well in life will test you. And that's what I started saying in my head. And I'm like, okay, it's just like, I think of it as like the game of life. Like, I'm going to struggle. I have to overcome that struggle. I struggle again. I'm going to have to overcome it. And that's just going to propel me forward.
When you are doing well, do you kind of keep yourself even keel, knowing that it can all switch in a blink of an eye? You know what I'm saying? Like, is there a bit of humbleness and groundedness, knowing even when you are in that high and everything is going well and everything's going your way, knowing that this is just the wave that I'm riding, and anything that goes up must come down type thing, and it keeps you steady throughout the whole thing.
I'd say, like, and that's like embracing the journey of this whole like fitness, you know, self-improvement. Now I own my own online business, and it's like, I know the momentum that I'm in now, and, you know, I'm doing well. Like, I traveled to Australia earlier this year, you know, spent like a total of almost $7,000 on that trip, being 21, first time traveling alone, flying across the world, meeting millionaires, sitting at a table, you know, where the net worth was over $50 million. Like, it was crazy, but it's like, I know that, you know, I'm doing well now, and it's like, I've been through struggles twice and I've had to overcome stuff twice. It's like, it can very well happen again, and it's just like another test that I have to pass. And it's like, if I pass those tests and, you know, I stick it out till the end, like, my success is inevitable.
Well, I respect that, man. I respect that. And one thing I wanted to touch on before we end this, because this has been great for sure. We talked about this off camera, off the record, but I mean, I'm gonna ask you, like, what are some of the things that you don't really appreciate in the fitness culture, especially as for creators, and like, what are some of the things that turn you off with the way some influencers and some creators are conducting things and posting things? Like, I don't want you to sit here and like just like shit on people, because it's not good for your brand. But what are some things that you see that kind of maybe bother you or rub you off the wrong way?
I think a lot of it now, like, I'm very well educated when it comes to, you know, training and nutrition and like the lifestyle aspect. Like, that's where I specialize. And like, I've coached a variety of different people. Like, I've coached people that are my age throughout high school. And like, just recently I coached someone that's a year younger than me. He was a lifeguard, just trying to get strong and get jacked. I've coached like a mama too, postpartum, helped her lose a bunch of weight. I've coached men that are, you know, in their 30s and are just trying to, you know, cut down some body fat and get strong and get jacked. Like, I'm pretty strong. I'm very confident in teaching people how to get strong and, like, you know, actually how to build muscle and, you know, create a lifestyle change out of it. But I feel like for, because I'm going to speak on lifestyle people because that's who I help. And like, everyone who's listening right now, chances are, most of them are lifestyle and are just trying to improve in every area of life. I'd say just overcomplicating the whole process and thinking you need to be perfect all the time. And, there's obviously so much information with fitness now, like, oh, train to failure, oh, do this exercise for this muscle group and isolate this, and this isn't good for your chest, and this isn't the best lat exercise, and, this isn't an effective movement for your legs. So a big one is, oh, barbell squats are unstable, your core is going to limit you, and all this shit. It's like, that stuff matters for the 1%. For everyone who's looking for a lifestyle change, you don't need to worry about that, because then you're just going to be spinning your wheels and getting like information overload. And it's like, it honestly comes down to, like, if we look at building muscle, it's okay, you need to aim to progressively overload every week. Let's say you're doing 3 sets on an exercise of 10 to 12 reps, and you get 10 reps on the first week with, let's use like a flat dumbbell press. You want to go in the next week and use the same weight and try to improve your form, get more reps, or up it by 5 pounds and keep the reps the same. Like, it's very simple. And obviously you need to do research to figure out, what exercises train what muscle group, but just enjoy the process and figure out what works for you. Like, obviously there's base principles to follow when it comes to building muscle. You want to make sure you're doing enough volume. You want to make sure you're recovering, because recovery is where muscle is built. You're not building muscle in the gym. Like, I almost like to say you're breaking down your muscle in the gym, and your muscle's being built when you're recovering, getting in enough protein, getting enough water to actually, shuttle the nutrients throughout your body, and sleeping well. That's what all of it comes down to. And you can't just be murdering yourself in the gym thinking, oh, the harder I train and like I go balls to the wall, like I'm going to build more muscle. Yes, there is some truth to that. You need to be training hard to build muscle, but you're building muscle when you're recovering. And a big trend now is, doing a little bit lower volume and just pushing balls to the wall and going to failure, when research suggests that, training within 2 to 3 reps shy of failure, and failure I'd consider is like where you can't get another rep with really good form. And, sure, there's also been some studies where, it shows that training to failure helps build more muscle, but that's for like the 1 percentile. Like, for most people, you just need to train hard and aim to get stronger every week and progress in some way, shape, or form. And I like to say, aim to get 1% better every day. How can you show up and be 1% better than you were yesterday?
Right.
And that ties into like a lot of different things. Like, I always say, fitness ties into all the other areas of life. Like, if you want to be successful, you should be prioritizing your health and fitness, because you're trying to be successful, there's going to be struggles, and like, you're going to struggle with fitness. It's just going to tie into other areas and help you, become more successful, and, overcome the struggles of being successful and overcome struggles in relationships and stuff like that, because you're so grounded within yourself and like you're focusing on yourself.
It's
first.
all connected in some way.
Everything is.
And I was going to ask you, what would your sales pitch be for someone that feels like they don't have enough time to get a workout in or focus on their health, and or because they just find this whole healthy lifestyle and going to the gym thing corny? Because a lot of people do think that with the fitness and gym industry. Like, that's one thing I would say about like creators in the fitness world. They're making it a little bit just gimmicky and corny to the point where it is turning a lot of people off. Like, oh, like it's that type of guy. This guy, like going to the gym, doing this shit,
taking these pictures and like flexing all the time.
Yeah.
And then you got these like tweener kids now that like wear pajamas in the gym and Crocs and super like this.
Or like with their hoods up on a Saturday night, like fighting my demons. Like, dude, you're not fighting any demons.
No, like you're not. And it's like, you wear Crocs in the gym, like I honestly, I hope you drop a weight on your foot.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like, like, why are you wearing Crocs in the gym? Why are you wearing pajamas in the gym? Like, honestly, even pants like these are workout pants. I don't like wearing pants to the gym a lot. I'll wear it sometimes on upper body days, but it's like, I'm going to the gym to work out. Like, you're not going to catch me wearing like, I've seen people wear jeans in the gym. Like, you catch me wearing like an athletic fit shirt and like a pair of shorts.
Dude, this morning, some kid, he's not a kid, he's like fucking mid-20s, he wore a fucking Santa like red what the fuck do you even call that, like a hat, like a Christmas fucking thing. He wore that and he was doing fucking and he had the headphones over it.
Yeah. Like I get like the staff and stuff do that because like Christmas time and like, you know, maybe if you're like a super get up holiday person, but it's like, you know, maybe that's just like your personality. Like I'm not one to like shut someone down, but it's like when you wear pajamas and Crocs in the gym, like that's just a trend now that you guys saw on TikTok and you're just going to hop on it because
you know they're coming from a place of just being trendy. It's not really.
Exactly. It's not you being your authentic self.
What if the guy was jacked though? Like, okay, this guy can get away with it. He knows what he's doing. Like, there's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like, I see jacked people in the gym. Like, I've seen them on social media, you know, wearing pajamas and Crocs. Regardless if you're, you know, jacked out of your mind and you're strong, like, I still think wearing pajamas and Crocs is stupid. Like, I still think you're an idiot. Like, regardless of how you look, like, I don't know why you'd wear pajamas and Crocs in the gym. Like, I get if you're just a bodybuilder and, like, you don't need to worry about stuff like that, but it's like, there's no argument for it.
There's not a single good reason. It's completely unacceptable.
It's a trend.
Why, though? If you're jacked, I feel like you can get away with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can afford to look like a goof if you're just absolutely.
Yeah, well, and there's that aspect of, like, you know, you don't care what people think. It's like, okay, lit. But it's like, I still think you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, but like, you don't care about that opinion and you're comfortable wearing Crocs and pajamas and you're jacked. You've been in the gym for 10 plus years and you know you're not going to drop a weight on your foot. Okay, whatever. Like, you do you then.
I get it. There's just some things where it's just like, okay, man, you're pushing boundaries here.
Yeah. And then now you got like, you know, you got the kids that obviously think they know it all and like they hear information on TikTok and like I think honestly if anyone's going to for fitness information, don't get it off of TikTok. Like there's so much BS out there and like I put out videos and like I have like 14-year-old kids coming in my comments and are like, oh, that's not optimal and like, oh, you know, you could do this better and do this better. It's like you look like you haven't picked up weight. Like why are you telling me what's better and what's not? Like obviously like there has to be an aspect of like you have to have
some sort of credibility,
and results yourself to be able to speak on something. And it's like obviously there's a lot of, you know, professional coaches out there that like aren't the most jacked, but like, you know, the knowledge is there because of research. But it's like you have to be somewhat in shape to give some sort of
I never understood
advice.
That, yeah, I mean, there's trainers in my gym that just don't look like they've ever had a fucking drop of sweat come out and they're just training people. And I'm just looking at the client thinking, you're spending your well-earned money on this guy to, right?
And it's like, there's also a lot of jacked people out there that just spread misinformation. I've called out some people. I'm like, this is the stupidest thing ever.
What's one thing you called out?
So this guy lives in the Dominican Republic and he posted a video on TikTok about a chest exercise pressing 2 plates together. And like he's got his shirt off, pro bodybuilder, jacked out of his mind. But it's like that's the stupidest video ever because you're pressing 2 plates together to hit your chest. Eventually you're going to need to progressively overload that and get stronger. And it's like, how much weight can you really hold by pressing 2 plates together?
Just like lying down and like
on the bench,
squeezing on the plate together.
And he's like, oh yeah, you squeeze it, then it hits your mid chest. Like just because you're squeezing your chest and you're holding 2 plates here doesn't mean that you're hitting your chest. It's like, how are you gonna get stronger with that every week? You start with 2 10s and then you bump it up to like a 10 and a 25, then you hold a 45-pound plate, but then your range of motion's not even there. You need to get a good stretch on your chest if you want to grow it. And like that plate's going to hit your chest before you even get a good stretch.
I do remember watching that video and I was like, dude, that is fucking true.
Yeah,
like, why would
it literally makes
at a certain point you won't even be able to hold the thing, you know? Like,
it's like who can hold 2 45-pound plates?
Right.
Not a lot of people. And it's like you do that, you're not even hitting your chest effectively because there's no stretch.
That is one thing that pisses me off about. You see these jacked motherfuckers with their shirts off and they're like, yeah, if you want to have biceps like this, grab a 25 and fucking just rep out. It's like, no, dude. First of all, you're on juice, you're on gear, so fuck you. And second of all, like, no, that exercise, doing 5 sets of it isn't going to do any, like, it's not going to look like that.
Yeah, no, it's not. And it's like that just comes from spreading misinformation on social media to get views.
Yeah.
It's what it is. Like my social media following isn't huge, but that's because I don't put out bullshit. Like, I'll try to make some stuff controversial, like my video of like stop eating peanut butter to lose weight. You know, obviously that's like a strong hook, and it's like you don't really need to stop eating peanut butter to lose weight. And I had another coach come in my comments and go off on a tangent and be like, is this a joke? I'm eating peanut butter every day and losing weight. It's like, yeah, because you're tracking your calories. This is for the people that don't know how many calories are in peanut butter and don't track calories. Like, you got value from that video.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, because I know it's true.
Exactly.
I've seen a vast difference in the times when I do eat peanut butter and I don't.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy that people buy peanut butter that has icing sugar. Like, there should be one ingredient in peanut butter. Peanuts and maybe salt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. And like, obviously the natural peanut butters are a lot better for you. Not to say I haven't eaten craft peanut butter. Like, I have. I'm not perfect. Like, craft peanut butter tastes good.
Yeah, well, we all ate it when we were kids, but we didn't know any better back then.
Yeah, it's like now I know better. Yeah, I still have craft peanut butter once in a while, you know, when I'm in a surplus or like I can fit it into my calories. But like, majority of the time, whenever I have like oatmeal with like peanut butter, I'll use like a natural nut butter.
Well, man, this has been really good.
Yeah,
It's been really good, man.
it has been good.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's one of those things with the fitness industry and health and nutrition where you could just go on and on about.
Oh, I can, yeah, and like I can go on a tangent of like how, you know, fitness leads into like other areas of life and like everything like that. Like, that's something I solely believe in. Like, there's so much more with training and nutrition that we can dive into. Like,
Right.
You can go on and on for hours.
Because you would agree that not every person needs to be super dialed into their nutrition to the microgram. It's not like that. There's no need to be like that. It's just having a bit of an awareness of what you're putting in your body.
Exactly. And like, just focusing on yourself. And that's one thing I want to touch on here before we wrap this up. I feel like this is a really good way to end it, is a morning routine. So I know you wanted to talk about this a little bit, and cold plunges and cold showers and, you know, stuff like that. So I want to give you my perspective on morning routine because I have one. I tell all my clients to have one. So like, my fitness program isn't just fitness. I don't just throw together a program and tell you to do this, and you're going to get results. And, you know, anyone can do that. There's millions of coaches in the fitness industry. There's not a lot of good coaches, but there's millions. And, you know, within the good coaches, I'd consider myself a good coach, but it's like, what sets me apart from all the other good coaches? So obviously I use my life experience and my struggles and like what I've done over the years to, you know, see success in life. And, you know, like, obviously I own my own business now. I travel to Australia, all these bells and whistles, and it's just only going to continue to grow. Like, I have a plan to move out within like the next 7 to 8 months and, you know, move out into like a condo and have my own space. And like, not a lot of, you know, 22-year-olds. I'm probably going to be 22 by the time I move out, or hopefully before I turn 22, move out by that age. But it's like, I know that I want to, and that's something I'm working towards. And it's like, so with the morning routines, I tell all my clients to do it, to like focus on themselves, and like fitness kind of ties into all other areas of your life, health, wealth, relationships, everything like that. Like, if you show up for yourself first and like prioritize yourself, you can give 110% of energy and effort into other areas of your life. So it's like, morning routine, right in the morning, I tell all my clients to do a morning routine. And because let's look at what the average person does in the morning. They wake up, honestly, they probably click snooze, and then after they click snooze about twice, like, okay, it's time to get up. They check their emails, they scroll social media, and what's the reality nowadays? A lot of it's negative. So it's like, if that negativity is the first thing you're putting into your brain, that kind of sets the tone for the day. And like, let's use the average like 9 to 5 job goer. Click snooze, scroll something negative on social media, see some negativity, and like see something they have a strong opinion about, and they leave a comment, and then they leave late for work, don't prep a breakfast or anything like that, and then they end up getting late for work and they blame traffic, and it's just like negative right in the morning. And then they come home from work and they're cranky. So why is that? It's because it's all negative and nothing's been going your way from the morning. So like, as opposed to if you wake up, you know, start waking up a little bit earlier. And you don't have to have this crazy morning routine where you do a cold plunge and you do 1,000,000 push-ups or anything like this. Honestly, it's super simple. Start waking up, you know, 5-10 minutes earlier than you are right now. don't click snooze. Just literally, I tell people to you just get out of the bed like a psychopath. Like when you hear that alarm, just jump out of bed. Like if you can win that 5 to 10 second battle within your brain and just jump out of bed and, you know, get into a shower, like let's use a cold shower. For structuring a morning routine, I like to have, you know, one thing that actually mentally challenges you that you don't like doing at all. So that'd be something like a cold shower. And then have an aspect of it that also mentally challenges you, but is something you somewhat enjoy and leaves you feeling good after. So like a 5 to 10 minute meditation can be that. It's hard to sit there for 5 to 10 minutes, but you're going to feel like you're on top of the world after you're done it. Then have an aspect of your morning routine that you actually enjoy, so you can stick to it long term, because consistency is key with everything. If you hate your morning routine and it's just like this crazy cold plunge morning routine, push-ups outside and going to sit outside in the cold when it's snowing, and like you're going to dread doing that every morning. You have to have an aspect of it that you enjoy so you can stick to it long term, and then it just snowballs, and it's like stacking wins. So you start your day off on a positive note and just focusing on yourself, and don't use your phone until you're done your morning routine and, you know, you shower. So like if I were to structure a morning routine for someone listening, yes, I do a cold shower. It's hard, it's mentally challenging, but you know, it pushes you in a positive direction. There's no downside to it. Then like, let's use a 5 to 10 minute meditation. It's hard, or you can, you know, read 5 to 10 pages of a book. It's hard, but you feel good after doing it. Then the third aspect is something you enjoy. This can be different for anyone. Myself, depending on the type of year, the time of year it is. If it's summertime, I'll honestly just go sit outside and like, you know, just embrace, you know, the birds chirping and like nature. Is as corny as that sounds, like, no, it's honestly enjoyable. Like if a lot of people do it and, you know, you do it consistently for a week or two or even 3 weeks, it takes 21 days to build a habit. Like you realize how nice it is. Or, you know, colder times of the month, I'll just like kind of sit inside and I'll put on some YouTube and like watch my favorite YouTuber after I'm done, you know, my cold shower or my meditation, or, you know, sometimes I stretch in the morning because like my muscles are pretty tight. Then I'll just watch some YouTube, and that's like the aspect of my morning routine that I enjoy, and I'll have breakfast while I watch that YouTube.
If I was your client, I told you I can probably do the first one where it's just get out of bed like a psychopath, but everything else just seems too daunting. Would that be okay? Right? Because doing so many things all at once would be overwhelming, and it's like, fuck, I can't do all that.
No, so of course that'd be okay. And that's like, we can use the term progressively overloading. Like, you know, you aim to get stronger every week with working out, like progressively overload your morning routine and kind of reverse engineer it. Be like, okay, I'm going to do this for the next 3 to 5 days. And if I'm feeling good, then I'm going to add something else and, you know, wake up 10 minutes earlier than last week, so I have a bit more time for myself in the morning. And just like kind of take baby steps with it.
Right.
Don't like throw yourself in the deep end right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because for someone like even me sitting here, it's like, holy fuck, that's a lot. Like, just, you know what I mean?
It sounds like a lot, but like if you know, take small
if you break it down,
it's not much at all.
Yeah.
Like how long is that going to take you? You jump out of bed, take a cold shower for 2 to 3 minutes, or honestly, you can even start warm and then just turn it cold at the end. I've done that, and sometimes when I didn't want to take a cold shower right away, I'd start it kind of warm, and then I just end it off with cold, and then you get a dopamine spike, and then you just, you know, you feel like you're on top of the world. Then you do a 5 to 10 minute meditation. What's that? 15 minutes right there. Stretch for 10 minutes, 25 minutes, you're good to go. Or instead of stretching, you can watch YouTube while you make breakfast or while you eat breakfast. And, you know, let's say your whole morning routine with eating breakfast is 40 minutes. You can't wake up a bit earlier to have 40 minutes for yourself before dealing with anyone else.
Right.
Like if people do that, they'll see a drastic change in their life.
And it's a trickle down effect to the rest of their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
The personal relationships.
Everything. It's like if you find yourself, you know, with relationships, I don't want to dive too much into it here, but it's like if you find yourself being like super reactive in relationships, or like, you know, super reactive with anything in your life, and you find yourself just like snapping at certain things that shouldn't bother you that much, then it's like, okay, maybe it's time to start focusing on yourself before anyone else and pouring your energy into anyone else at the start of the day. It's like you should be pouring into your own cup, and then, you know, getting into your work day and talking to other people and, you know, stuff like that.
Fair.
Yeah.
I agree with you, man. I think that's a good way to end it.
Yeah, I like it. That is a good way to end it.
I appreciate you, man. We went 1 hour and 27.
I like it.
That was fun, dude.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming on. It was a
Yeah,
long
I
time
appreciate you
coming.
guys having me on. That was a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Christmas Eve,
Yeah,
a little treat for the kiddos listening.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Hope they all got some value.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
If
I dove a lot into it. We talked about a lot of different things, and it was good.
Oh yeah, we'll do this again, man, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to have you back on.
Yeah.
Talk about some other things.
Yeah,
and,
100%.
It's good having you on, man. Is there anything you want to plug, like your Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, it's jadensidhu.fit, JADENSIDHU.fit. And if you guys want coaching, or, you found what I was saying valuable, there's an application in my bio. You fill it out. Or honestly, you can just DM me and we'll have a conversation. You DM me, it's always me talking to you. So
Awesome. Appreciate you, man. This was good.
Yeah.
I'll be definitely listening to this to get me out of bed in the morning,
Yeah,
for sure.
there you go.
Enjoy your 24, episode 71, Jaden Sidhu on the podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you guys need to do. Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays, Happy New Year. It was a pleasure. Peace.
Peace.
Awesome, dude.
That
That was
good,
crazy, man. That was good.
That was good.
That was really good.
This is,
Oh, yeah.
first podcast. It was lit. That's why I wanted